Man, we might need a trade Steph, man. We don't need him, man. Just winning all these games without Steph, man. See, throw him in the trade finder. See what we could get, man. See
Oh
if we could
shit.
get like a Paul George and somebody else for Steph, man. Bring Lester back. Trade Steph.
How you make it up it? You just tryna win some, yeah, you know the shit. Oh, your nigga know how to.
5th tomorrow, so all the NBA games are being knocked out today. But my Warriors was able to pick up that W. I was able to watch that, man. That was an intense game tonight versus the Washington Wizards. But we got a big 3 games on the road. Up ahead, so we'll for the next week's episode we'll be able to review those big 3 games
Let me
versus
throw this.
Boston. We have Boston, Cleveland, and OKC. So by the time of the next episode, we should be able to review 2 of those games because we play Boston on Wednesday and then we play Cleveland on Friday. So we'll see how these next 2 games go. But let's go into week 2, man. As y'all see on the board, let me share with Cam Killer Cam. We don't have too much this week, but I have a few games I wanted to highlight. As I see in the top left-hand corner, this past week, the Kings were able to get onto the win column against the Trailblazers, 111-98. They are playing right now against the Miami Heat, so we'll see if they can keep it up. Because as you see on the right hand side, they lost to the Toronto Raptors just this past Saturday, 131-128 in overtime. RJ Barrett had a good game. I was watching that game live, y'all. Freaking De'Aaron Fox had a chance to win the game at the top of the key. He was wide open and he airballed. That was literally one of the funniest moments ever in my life because, bruh, these Kings fans be just all of a sudden they are like the best team in the league because they got DeMar DeRozan and this, and that, and they got their franchise player airballing game winners. It's just funny to me. But anyways, as well as I got Nikola Jokic pulling it out over the Raptors just this past weekend. They was able to get into the win column. I don't know what's been going on with the Denver Nuggets. They haven't been looking like a championship team that they were. But I don't know, man. They looking kind of shaky, looking kind of rough. As well as the Milwaukee Bucks, as you see on the left-hand side, just lost this past weekend to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who just got another win today. As what the fuck? Who just got another win today as well. 114 to 113. Donovan Mitchell was able to get that clutch game winner. That was such a beautiful game. I watched that over the weekend as well. That was beautiful. Luka Doncic is going crazy. As you see, he was able to get a blowout win over this past weekend over the Orlando Magic, 108 to 85. And man, I have a crazy stat to share with you guys about Luka Doncic that I've never seen in my life before. He's been cooking. The Phoenix Suns were able to get that win over the Los Angeles Lakers this past weekend as well. Kevin Durant dropped the slimmy 30 ball. They're playing right now against the Los Angeles Clippers. Paul George is making his debut. So next week's episode, we'll be able to talk about that. And then, last but not least, my Warriors got back-to-back W's like we was talking about with the New Orleans Pelicans and the Rockets this past weekend. And like I told y'all, we was able to get that dub today. So we'll be able to talk more about that next week. But shout out to the man Paolo Banchero with a nice 50 ball over this past weekend. He gets the middle, because you guys know we saved the middle for the best of the best, and the middle of the road gets the highlight of the week pretty much. And shout out to Paolo Banchero with the 50 ball, and Cat, the big Cat with the 44 piece this past weekend. They are playing right now as well, so we'll see if the Knicks pull that one out. But man, a lot of interesting games over the weekend. Cam Killer Cam, what stood out to you this past weekend? And then we'll go into some more injuries and statistics as well.
The Cavs and Bucks definitely stood out. Cavs are pretty sure are still undefeated,
Yep.
and the Bucks. I'm a Bucks fan. I feel bad, bro. They got Osama bin Laden and Hitler as their.
Osama bin Laden is crazy.
They got Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham, bro. Like
That's a crazy
I
duo.
wouldn't, I wouldn't wish that on nobody, bro.
That's a crazy
Um,
coaching duo.
Yeah, that is. But yeah, I feel bad if I feel bad if I'm a Bucks fan. They're 1-6.
1-6 with
It's
Damian
not looking
Lillard and
too. It's
Giannis.
not looking too hot. Um, Dame should have stayed in Portland. Nah, but
Portland.
yeah, the Cavs are looking so good, man. Like
Yeah, they are.
y'all can go back and watch the episodes, man, from a year or 2 years ago. But I always put Cleveland in like a top three seed, bro. Like
But are they a regular season team? I feel like they're like the Baltimore Ravens. Like they good in the regular season, and then
that's still being a top three seed.
but they don't do nothing in the playoffs. They ain't done nothing in the past few years
I
besides when
mean,
LeBron was there.
they
Donovan
ain't really
Mitchell.
got a chance. They're still.
Donovan Mitchell isn't a number one option. Shout out to my man Brandon Jennings. That's what he said. He isn't a number one option on the championship team. What do you think about that?
Um, that's not really a. So is Luca a number one option on the championship team? Like,
I mean,
what do
he took his
you?
team to the finals.
They are they? They didn't win a championship. Like,
They
what is that?
didn't,
What
but
is it based off
he's
of?
for sure a number one option. I mean, Donovan Mitchell.
What are you basing it off of?
Donovan Mitchell can't lead. I mean, what can as a number one option, you should be able to take your team over the hump. Obviously, we saw Luka Doncic didn't do that this past year, like you said, but somebody like Jason Tatum, who's the number one option, you know, I feel like number one options got everything to him. You know, I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell don't got everything to him. He got the whole bag package, but it's just when playoffs come around, he's just not him. It's just weird. You know how Jimmy
That's
Butler?
crazy.
I mean, what happened last year? I mean, why did the Cavs
I
lose?
definitely-
Why did the Cavs get eliminated last year? Who did they lose
I
to?
definitely wouldn't. I definitely would not say that Donovan Mitchell is not him. We're talking about the guy who's
Hey
dropping
Siri,
50 points in
who did the Cleveland
playoff
Cavaliers
games.
lose to in the playoffs last year? They lost to the Knicks. In 5
The
games.
Knicks are looking.
In
and
5
the Knicks are
games.
looking like the Knicks are a super good team. They look like a championship quality team.
Randall was hurt last year, right?
Who? I think the Cavs definitely have what it takes. They're still a developing team, bro. Like Evan Mobley is nowhere near his prime. Donovan Mitchell's still. Donovan Mitchell's a little bit older, but I think Donovan Mitchell still has a lot of good years. Darius Garland is going to continue to get better. The Cavs are promising. I would definitely not say that Donovan Mitchell can't be the best player on the championship team. I mean, the man's a bucket, and
Kings.
if you know me, I'm not one of the people that think like scoring is all that matters. Like I don't just look at scoring to determine how good someone is, but
Yeah.
I mean Donovan Mitchell is a bucket, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's not a single player that in the league where I think that Donovan Mitchell can't score on their level. Like if Donovan Mitchell and Luka like to face off in the finals, I could definitely see Donovan Mitchell matching Luka on a PPG standpoint. But the Cavs look nice. It's tough because the Celtics are right there, but if the Celtics are somehow to get eliminated, then I mean I don't really see nobody that's stopping the Cavs, especially right now.
And on the East, you're referring to, right? Like the East side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides Boston, yep. Cleveland for sure. Yep. 100%. I agree. I mean, I don't see anybody else. I mean, New York's looking rocky. Like we said, the Sixers, Paul George is coming back, but they're not healthy yet. Bucks and shambles. So yeah, I mean, Orlando, we'll get to with their star player who they were making noise, but
Pacers are a good team. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
yeah. How have
They
they
look
been
good.
doing? They're playing the
I'm not too
Mavericks
sure.
right-
I
they're playing the
think I've
Mavericks right
only
now.
I think I've only watched like 1 or 2 games with them this year. But they look the same. As far as like their play style, still getting the same shots.
They're 2-4.
Maybe Tyrese needs to work on his shot selection a little bit. He be shooting Steph Curry threes.
Steph Curry.
Um,
Hey, Steph
but
Curry,
yeah, they look
baby.
good.
Hell yeah.
They look good. They need to get healthy.
So moving to the West Side, since you are talking about teams that are nasty and ball players, shout out to Paolo Banchero. He received an injury over this past weekend with a torn right oblique. It said that he's gonna be sidelined for a little while I think last time I checked, I believe they said from between like 5 to 6 weeks. So we'll see, possibly even longer. But prayers to him. Hopefully Paolo gets well. And then as well as you guys see, Cam Killer Cam put in a bet this past weekend, a Warriors bet. It barely just hit that thing, almost hit it. TJD sold him on the points, with only having 3 that game. And he had us over for 10.5, and then Draymond sold him as well. But I just wanted to get into, because he talked about the Cleveland Cavaliers on the East Coast, but the West Coast is firing up. OKC's off to, on the screen, you see a 6-0 start tonight. They're playing the Orlando Magic, which, like you see, has no Paolo Banchero, which OKC's easily going to get that W. So they're going to be off to a 7-0 start, just like the Cleveland Cavaliers as well. And then Luka Doncic has the most 30-point career games. That's more than 99% of NBA players ever in NBA history, which is crazy. 99% of players is ridiculous. So, Cam Killer Cam, how do you feel about that? Much higher percentage than everybody in the league, like that's ridiculous. And then how do you feel about OKC after that start? We're at the second seed with us, pulling off that win tonight. We play OKC on the back half of our road trip against Boston and Cleveland. So we are right there at the second seed. But, OKC's on a roll right now. Did you peep that thing about Draymond saying on his podcast that OKC, them being like an AAU team and doing like the dogs, the little roofing in their interviews is like unprofessional? And he said that we want to hear more about the game and listen to, the person doing the interview and answer the questions. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear all that roofing and shit. And he said that they act like childish. Did you hear that about Draymond?
Yeah, I 100% agree, man. As comp plays would say, they have zero fear factor.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Zero fear factor. Yeah,
they're not a very intimidating group of individuals. Do you need to be that? Maybe, I don't know. They're a skilled team. They're not a team that I would fear too much in the playoffs. Shea, yeah, they got some depth for sure. But that team is a James Harden, Houston-esque team where it's like you got your one guy and he kind of relies on his other people to knock down the shots when he hits them, kind of like James Harden in Houston.
That was a nasty
with Shea,
team
so it's like once the playoff starts, man, if them shots not falling, it's like, man, Lou Dort. I know Lou Dort is one to put up some stinkers.
Yeah, that's true.
Chet can be neutralized. Shea gonna get his 30, as you know. He literally gets like 31 every single game. Not too worried about Shea. But the rest of them guys, when it comes playoffs time, let's see what J-Dub could do. I don't know if they're missing Josh Giddey. Doesn't look like it, but
Caruso.
Shea
I haven't peeped that much. How has he fit over there?
I haven't seen too much of Caruso either. But Alex Caruso, he's always gonna be a good defender. Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, I can't imagine that must be a nightmare to go up against.
So did you see my Instagram
Didn't
story?
have a Chet.
Did you see my Instagram
About
story?
what?
I posted.
About what?
I posted this dude that posted the efficiency landscape of like he posted all the NBA teams and like their efficiency and like how they doing. I didn't focus at all, but how like they're doing offensively, defensively, and things like that, and like their net rating and who's the best number one defense, who's the worst defense and stuff like that. Did you see that I sent on my story? So the fact that you said Dort and Caruso are like lockdown defenders, to be specific, OKC right now is number 1 in defense. But then to your point about OKC having people like Dort, Stinkers, Chet can be neutralized. They're number 23 in offense, number 3 in net rating. But to your point, like you said, they have the good defenders, number 1 in defense, but number 23 in offense.
It was gonna be good because then they got the back end of Chet. So if you are a chance to get past your defender, it's like Chet down there. But yeah, it's super James Harden-esque over there. Like, not saying that Shea is the ISO player like a James Harden, but it's like the star. He does his thing, and he's going to kick it out. He's going to create open looks for everyone. It just matters if you knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they look good. And as far as for that Luka stat, it's crazy how, like, dumbed down these crazy stats are. Like we seen it really started with Russell Westbrook with the triple-double. It's like Russ really made the triple-double lose value in a sense. Like, it's like now when someone gets a triple-double, it's like
it's regular.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's so regular. It doesn't hit the same.
Like LeBron got
one.
Man,
Russ was really averaging.
LeBron got one tonight, but yeah.
Like Jonas Valanciunas almost had a triple-double tonight, right? He had like, I think maybe it was like 1 or 2 assists away. But it's like, man, it's crazy how common the triple-double is nowadays, and especially with the scoring. It's like if a guy has 30, it's like, you know, it doesn't hit like you really gotta have like 50 or 60 for it to like really look at it. Mm-hmm. And even 50 and 60 was like common. Like, I believe we had multiple 70-point games last season. Like, you were not seeing. I think Donovan and Joel both went for 70.
Yeah.
You did not used to see that. It's crazy how skilled this era is.
Mm-hmm. So you saying that stat with Luka is kind of boosted?
No, I'm not saying it's boosted. I'm just saying it's like it doesn't feel as crazy of a stat that it really is.
Before I move on to fantasy, is the Warriors, bro. The Warriors have been winning without Steph Curry. And to my point about, I was asking you about the Instagram story, the Warriors are number 1 in net right now, number 4 in offense, number 2 in defense. And to that other point, we are first in deflections per game, first in charges drawn, and second in loose balls recovered. So we've been hustling, we've been playing defense, we've been playing faster. We got 2 wins without Steph. Tonight we got a win with Steph. We have 3 big games on the road against 3 good teams. How do you feel about these Golden State Warriors, Cam? Like, I'm telling you, bro, everybody's saying, oh, it's just the beginning of the year, this and that, but if we were losing games, people would be saying a whole nother agenda. You feel me? It would be pushed a whole Steph Curry, washed, fucking, you can't do it without Klay Thompson, trade all your young at, like, if we were fucking 1-5 right now, it would be a whole nother discussion. But now, since it's, you're 6-1, we ain't played nobody on the schedule. It's only the beginning of the year. Like, you feel me? I feel like some of these people just trying to not give us some credit.
I think the Warriors, they looked extremely good.
Even though we almost lost a 31-point lead.
I haven't been loving the Kyle Anderson minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of Kyle Anderson, but to me, Kyle Anderson needs to play center. Like, I feel like that's the only way to really get him to be super productive that he can be, because he has the length and the size to play center. Especially, we're not going against super dominant centers every night.
He guarded Sarr tonight.
I feel like he needs to play center, because him next to a Trace or him next to a Looney, like seeing him, Looney, and Gary on the court at the same time, it's like the offense. Like I'm not trying to put all of our struggles onto him, but most of the times where we go through these spurts where we're not scoring, he's on the court.
That's true.
Like, where we have to rely on a Brandon Podziemski ISO, it's like it's so tough to watch. But yeah, I think if he put him at center, it would
Same
be
with Water
nice.
sometimes too. Like I hate when they like pass the ball and then pass it back to each other. You know, like oh, it's like it's like oh I don't want it. Here, you take it back. Like that's how it be feeling like sometimes. I'd be like, what do they be doing?
Um, yeah, but we look good, man. We might need a trade Steph, man. We don't need him, man. Just winning all these games without Steph, man. See, throw him in the trade finder. See what we could get, man. See
Oh
if we could
shit.
get like a Paul George and somebody else for Steph, man. Bring Lester back. Trade Steph. Um, but we really did look good without Steph, bro. It was so good to see, bro.
Facts.
It was so good to see.
Especially
That
that win against the Rockets.
Curry isn't a load managed type of guy, but if you want to take a couple games off, it looks like we can hang without him.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take some nights off, Draymond really looked like he want to win that Defensive Player of the Year, man. What he did to Zion, bro. Oh my,
Facts.
had Zion in prison, bro.
He only had like 11 points
Um,
that game, I think.
Draymond has been looking nice. Trace,
And he's been
this
hitting
man Trace
threes
just wants
too,
to.
Cam. Draymond's been hitting
Trace wants
threes.
to go off every time I take his under, but when I take his over, he just doesn't do anything. So I don't know what to do with Trace, bro. Hopefully D'Anthony can come back, bro. Cause man,
Man,
like,
I feel like
last
we
night
seen him.
the game against Houston, we have no point guard, bro. Curry was out. Brandon fouled out. We ain't have no point guard, bro. So we need some
Anderson.
guard play. Hey, Kyle Anderson is a good playmaker, man. He just kind of, he's slow mo, bro. But he did hit the
that
Euro.
Jinx.
Yeah, he
That's
hit the
funny,
Euro.
man.
Um,
He did hit that Euro.
yeah, we
man.
look good. I've been liking Looney. Looney started off, he was shooting the mid range, but he hasn't shot him like the last 2 or 3 games.
Mm-mm.
He hasn't even attempted one.
He got back to his old just pass and dribble handoff.
Yeah. I liked Moody. I haven't been liking JK either, I'm not gonna lie.
Been
He's so like
he forces shots up
yes,
early in the
bro,
shot
it's
clock.
like
It's too early in
he
the shot clock.
he's playing the same way he did last year, and our team is way better. We don't need him to play like that. No. We don't need him to go get buckets where we don't have nobody on our bench right now. You have to go score. We don't need that no more. But he's still playing with that mindset. So it has been kind of hard to watch JK. He like you said, he's forcing it, bro. He's just forcing. But he's skilled, so he be making some of them. But like tonight, like I don't think he shot that well overall tonight. He was scoring, but yeah, JK needs to work on his shot selection.
What about the new
Hopefully we
acquisition?
could bring Buddy Hill.
What you think about
Buddy-
him? About the few games
Buddy
he's
has been
playing?
looking nice. Hopefully he can keep it up, bro. Hopefully he can keep it up, bro. Buddy be doing a little bit of over dribbling too. He be running around with the ball just.
And he
Um,
3-hunts too much. He 3-hunts the whole game. Like he
I mean,
like he gets some.
I'm not mad at
drives.
him looking for the. I'm not mad at that.
But
Look at
that
him
nigga
looking
be-
for the 3 most of the time.
Like
But
pump-
he loves that hezzy.
that hezzy like I
He
love
literally
the
just be
fuck up.
dribbling around the whole court, bro. Just looking for something. But we have been stagnant at times too, though. To play devil's advocate, it has been a lot of standing around and just looking.
That's why I like Moses Moody, but he doesn't. I don't know why Curry don't sub him into the game. Like he's like I love Waters. Waters had a good game against New Orleans, but he hasn't done shit. Like why is Waters getting more minutes than Moody? Like Moody attacks the rim. Like that's what I love about Moody, bro. He attacks the rim when we need to. You know, when nobody's got shots flowing because
Yeah.
nobody was hitting threes like tonight. You know what I mean? Even though we're referring to last week.
Yeah, Moody hit one tonight. I don't know. I feel like it's early in the season. Curry's just testing out. Pods needs to be permanently benched because we just need the backup point guard play from him, bro. We need the backup point guard play, bro.
I feel it because we don't have no Milton.
Yeah, DA or D'Anthony Melton, he's gonna have to. I really want him to start. I'm glad JK got the bench spot. I mean, Wiggins did look good at the shooting guard. when it was Curry, Wiggins, J.K., Dre, Trace. I wasn't mad at that, but one of them to the bench, J.K. or Wiggs, and it's been J.K. Wiggs has been interesting to say the least, bro. I, he's been a guy I've been betting on too, man. Taking the unders. He's been hitting the overs sometimes.
I just
He
got a
looked good, bro.
I just got a Bleacher Report about Sabonis hitting a game winner in Miami. Sabonis missed it, and then Fox missed it, and then Sabonis got the rebound, and then he put it back up. For you guys, I want to recap this fantasy because you guys know we gotta recap the fantasy every single week. As y'all see on the left side, your boy got a bye week. I was able to sleep under let me not say sleep, but let me say I was stress free this past week, having a bye week. We do have a 9-man league. I did have a 10-man league, but like I showed you guys earlier, we had one person drop out, so I was able to just stick on the bye. But as you see on the right hand side, Cam Killer Cam has 2 players with the top score of the week, with Nikola Jokic with 292 points and Trae Young with 207. And then my boy Will had Jalen Johnson. Obviously, he had him a good, nice week this past week with 213 fantasy points. And for the top scoring team of the week was Andre with 1,500, and then lowest was Will with 998. But as y'all see, like I said, I had a bye week this past week with Wembanyama topping out with 189 points for me, and B.I., Booker, Hill, and continuing on. But this week I am playing someone, so we'll see if I'll be able to come out on top with that. But that's pretty much all we have for this week as far as week 2 for basketball. I do want to share some statistics real quick before we get out of here. Cam, points per game, Anthony Davis leads with 31.8. Giannis right behind him with 31. Tatum, LaMelo, Jokic. Assists per game, Trae Young with 11.7, Harden with 10.8, Jokic, Ja 9.8. Ja's been out there dishing the ball. Chris Paul, as you see, he's been a huge addition over there. Rebounds, Sabonis, Zubac, Giannis, Jokic, AD, Jakob Porto, Saboon up there, getting them rebounds. And then one of the biggest sleepers that I was not expecting in 2 weeks of basketball, and like I was talking to you before we hopped on, Jordan Poole leads the league in steals per game with 2.8. Right behind him is De'Aaron Fox.
He's been going for
Dyson
him, boy.
Daniels, DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm saying. Jordan Poole.
That way Poole be blit.
Did you see that one
Poole
steal he had tonight when he was like
against Gary?
He just came out of nowhere.
Against GP2. GP2
Yes.
tried to throw it across the court.
He
That man
just
is
came out of
running for
nowhere.
them steals.
Nowhere.
Yeah, he wants that.
And then
Yeah.
to add to our OKC #1 defense, Chet leads the league in blocks per game with 3.3, following Walker Kessler, Victor Wembanyama, Sarr, and Brook Lopez. Kind of crazy to see that, man. And then one more thing as well before we get out of here, I want to send prayers to Greg Popovich. I'm not sure what happened with him, but they did say that he's going to be out for a little bit of time. They didn't specify what his health issue was, but they just said that he's not going to be coaching for a little bit. So prayers to Pop, and hopefully he gets well and gets better. And yeah, man, Cam, got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Nah, man, we good, man. We covered it all.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys on week 3 for NBA.
Shout out to LaMelo Ball.
Shout out to LaMelo Ball, and go get your vote in. Election day tomorrow.